UPS delivers more than 5.5 billion packages around the world every year, and even the slightest change in weather can cause a delay to one of those deliveries. So how do shipping companies stay on schedule even when storms strike? I spoke with UPS meteorologist Randy Baker about how their planes navigate constantly changing weather conditions.
Well, for the airline is really thunderstorms. And a good example, Dallas is one of our hub airports. And twice in the last 2 weeks, we've had significant thunderstorms that impacted our operations during the middle of the night, during our operations that caused some hiccups in our operation.
Is Dallas one of the main areas, or is there any specific region that's a greater concern when it comes to thunderstorms and whether deliveries will make it on time?
So we mainly focus on our hubs. So that would be Louisville, Rockford, Philadelphia, Dallas. Miami and Ontario are also hubs, and Anchorage, Alaska. So this time of year, snow is no longer an issue for Anchorage, so Anchorage is not such a problem. But we are now into the thunderstorm season, so that would mainly be Rockford, Louisville, and Dallas, and to some extent Philadelphia. As we get later in the summer, Philadelphia will be a significant potential thunderstorm issue for us.
When severe weather is in the forecast, do you put in place alternative plans?
Yes, we do. So the main issue is for us is, like in Louisville, we have 100 arrivals that come in every night between midnight, 2:30 in the morning. So if we have a line of thunderstorms that roll in during that window, there's going to be a 20, 30-minute period where we can't land. And so we have to take that into account, try to prioritize and adjust our incoming aircraft so that we can get all the airplanes in without diverting. And that helps us on the outbound to make deliveries on time the next morning.
Oh, but it's complicated because, of course, right, you got to get all those shipments out then, too. Tell us about a recent storm and how it impacted deliveries and operations for UPS.
Well, so for Dallas, last week we had a situation where we had thunderstorms roll in right during the inbounds. Fortunately, we only had 3 of their initial inbound flights that were at risk, and we managed to get those in between individual thunderstorms. Then the line was passed, and the rest of our inbounds, 20-plus inbounds, came in just fine. So those are the types of things that we watch and monitor very carefully. And so we were able to provide information to the dispatchers and therefore to the crews as to the timing of those events so that they would have more confidence to be able to get in.
Do you have to make any last-minute decisions to alter flights or even divert?
Yes, that can happen. And oftentimes a diversion will miss the sort. And so that's a much bigger issue. We'll try to avoid that, obviously.
I see your great setup behind you with all the weather information. Is there new technology that helps with forecasting and making decisions?
It's mainly the models are getting better that help for forecasting those thunderstorm events. And so, and also being able to recognize the setup. So even when the models don't get it right, we'll see and recognize the setup so that we can actually forecast the event, even if the models aren't perfect. The other part of that is we use our aircraft as weather sensing platforms. We have 25 of our aircraft have water vapor sensors on board. So every time we take off and land, it's just like setting up a weather balloon. And that data is sent to the National Weather Service. It is ingested into the models, and that certainly helps us have better forecasts as well.
Randy, that's very interesting. We've been talking a lot about actually how, with less planes in the sky, there's less data coming back into the modeling, but your planes are still out there, and we appreciate everything that you all do there at UPS. Appreciate you taking the time.
You're welcome.